A radio host claims Anze Kopitar will retire after this season. But since when do Canadians tell the truth? Matthew Stafford meets the press after a week of practice with the Rams, and Jim Harbaugh's Big Ten rival wants him to be suspended by the NFL. Good morning. I'm James. And this is your daily dose of sports and snark for the greatest sports city in the world, Los Angeles. This is the Faithful Angelenos Morning Report. So it is August 22nd, 2025. We added a new subscriber to the Angeleno Familia last night. Thank you. We're going to do our best to keep you informed. And if you like being in the know about LA sports, click the like button. Click the subscribe button. There's a notification bell. Hit that. It'll let you know when we drop an update. Sharing is caring. Let people know we exist. And comment. Now, before we go through the news and notes, a quick look at the scoreboard. Dodgers 9, Colorado 5. The Dodger magic number slips to 34. And Angel City edged Orlando 1-0. Meanwhile, today the Dodgers are at Slime Diego at 6:40. So what do you say we get to the news? Because I normally do not start with the Kings, but this involves the guy who you could argue is the greatest player in their history. There is a radio host in Edmonton who is claiming that this year will be Anze Kopitar's last in the NHL. And there is a reason I'm saying a radio host in Edmonton. It's not even a radio host in Los Angeles. I'd be skeptical of that enough as it is. Do you really want me to trust a radio guy who nicknames himself the coach, the sports doctor, Mad Dog? Do you really want me to think that I'm going to get valuable information from sports talk radio? So this Canadian guy, Jason Gregor, said, quote, people in LA are reporting that this will be Kopitar's last season. He's not signing an extension, unquote. The dude is half right. Kopitar's not signing an extension because he is going on a year-to-year basis. That has been reported. Now, is it possible Kopitar retires? Absolutely. This season would be the dude's 20th in the NHL. And again, how valuable has he been to the Kings? Well, in 19 years, all with LA, won 2 Stanley Cups, won 2 Selke trophies, a Marc Messier Leadership Award. He leads all Kings players in games played, in assists, 3rd among all Kings players all time in goals, 2nd all time in points. And I get it. The Kings by no means have the generational rep of an original 6 team. We're not talking about Montreal, Boston, Detroit. But they have had some amazing players. You know? Anyone hear of a guy named Wayne Gretzky? But even if you say, okay, there was Gretz, there was Luc Robitaille, there was Marcel Dion, Kopitar could be the most important player the Kings have ever had. But no, people in LA are not reporting this is his last year. People who follow the Kings, who their job is to follow the Kings, none of them are reporting that. And believe you me, I looked up Kings news every single day. Haven't seen it. It's possible this could be his last year. It's not guaranteed this is his last year. So, get your facts straight, Oiler lad. Rams coach Sean McVay said Matthew Stafford has fully participated in practice each day this week. McVay also said his arms were exhausted from doing about 5,000 cartwheels celebrating that, because this controversy about the quarterback's health finally seems to be heading to a conclusion. Stafford, for his part, met the scribes and said, quote, you guys all want to talk about this paper cut I got last night? Fire away. Then, after the awkward giggling, Stafford told the scribes he's feeling much more like himself and, quote, doing everything I can to try to get to feeling as good as I can. Done a ton of research, just trying to help myself out. The good thing is I felt pretty good the last couple of days out there practicing, even a little bit more than I thought. Just trying to stack days, unquote. And look, this would be awesome for the Rams, not just in terms of Stafford's talent, but as we've been talking about the last few days, you want your training camps to be boring. You don't want breaking news out of your training camp because that's most likely drama. You need your players locked in. Now, nobody's saying that the dude will start week 1, but it wouldn't be too much of a surprise. So yeah, good news. Meanwhile, with the Chargers, former Jim Harbaugh rival Urban Meyer wants Harbaugh to face punishment for what happened when Harbaugh coached over at Michigan. Gee, that wouldn't have anything to do with Meyer formerly coaching Ohio State, would it? Meyer said of the Wolverines title, quote, "There'll be an asterisk there. There's an elephant in the room here, boys, though, that no one's talking about. When Jim Tressel was fired at Ohio State and he was given a suspension, Roger Goodell, commissioner of the National Football League, came out and said that we're going to honor that suspension. And you remember, he went to the Indianapolis Colts to work in the replay room or something. The Colts suspended Jim Tressel, so he was unable to perform his duties for the first 6 games this year. Any chance that Roger Goodell and the NFL do something? Of course not. And I don't know why," unquote. Please don't make me say anything that sounds like I'm defending Jim Harbaugh. I'm not a Charger hater. I'm not even really a Harbaugh hater. And I know what happened in Michigan is bad. But then the columnist who took that quote from Meyer wrote the following. For Meyer, it all comes down to accountability. Oh, really? Was Meyer held accountable by his wife when he was caught dancing with a chick less than half his age while he was coaching the Jacksonville Jaguars? Was he? Say what you want about Jim Harbaugh, but he never called members of his own coaching staff losers. Jim Harbaugh never kicked his own kicker during practice. There's some skeletons in the old Meyer closet as well, guys. I'm not trying to sit there and say that Harbaugh shouldn't be suspended. I have no idea what the NFL is going to do. If the NFL suspends Harbaugh, I totally get it. But don't you point to Urban Meyer as a moral exemplar. Okay? He ain't Jesus. There's a lot of skeletons in that dude's closet. I only scratched the surface. Over at USC, Jacoby Lane is all systems go. He suffered a broken foot in May, but Lincoln Riley said he's been going full here for about the last week. You can see some of the rust starting to get knocked off now, which kind of matters. Lane led the Trojans with 12 touchdown receptions last year. Over with the Dodgers, Shohei Ohtani, who was hit with a batted ball in Colorado on Wednesday, he is expected to play tonight. And the never-ending churn of pitchers between Oklahoma and Los Angeles continues. It was only yesterday that we were talking about Paul Gervais being called up to the majors. The dude allowed a run in 2 innings. See ya. Matt Sauer returns, and my question became, in my mind, did Gervais even get a chance to change into street clothes, or did the Dodgers simply throw him in an Uber and send him to Denver International Airport while the game was still going on? Now, by the way, there's probably going to be some more bullpen churn today. We were talking earlier this week about both Tanner Scott and Kirby Yates possibly being available for the Padres series. LAFC has acquired a second player from the Premier League, midfielder Andrew Moran of Brighton and Hove Albion. The loan is going on through January. Now, the dude only scored 3 times for Brighton. He spent more of his time on loan to lower division European clubs. He's still going to be useful. He's played as an attacking mid, central, both wings. It's doubtful he starts regularly, though. The black and gold already have depth in the midfield. Mark Delgado, Tim Tillman, Igor Jesus. But depth is going to matter. MLS has this annoying habit of running their players ragged. Former Lakers guard Malik Beasley is no longer the target of a federal gambling probe. Kudos. If you happen to be at a mall that hasn't died yet, you see a Hallmark store, make sure to get him a congratulations on avoiding federal prison card. Well done on beating the rap. Now, to be clear, the lawyers were not investigating his time with the Lakers. It was with Milwaukee. Beasley is now a free agent, and best of luck to the 6 teams that have cap space to go get him. By the way, the Lakers and Clippers, not in that group with cap space. The Galaxy, meanwhile, I don't want to say that they've waved the white flag. They're still in Leagues Cup in the semifinals, but to try and go back-to-back for MLS Cups, I think we can all agree that that's not happening. So the Galaxy subtracted on the last day of MLS transfer window, presumably to set themselves up for an off-season rebuild. Most prominently, they sent 2-time MLS Cup champion goalie John McCarthy to New York Red Bulls. The Galaxy, to be honest, aren't getting a lot back. It's a 3rd-round pick, which will never see the light of day, and a wee bit of cap relief. As a result, that means Novak Mikovic is your guy now. McCarthy was in net throughout the Galaxy's championship run last year. Greg Vanny decided to start Mikovic instead on opening day. The newbie was shaky at the start of the season, but he and McCarthy then wound up having an almost equal number of starts. Mikovic has basically won the battle. LA also permanently sent midfielder Johnny Perez to Nashville. There was a loan for the guy for 18 months. Nashville liked what they saw, and they cut the Galaxy a check for $1.5 million. Business. The Galaxy will face Seattle in Leagues Cup semifinals Wednesday. As a result of the additional match, MLS then adjusted its own schedule. They moved LA's match against FC Dallas back to October 11th. But you let me know what you think in the comments thread. Talk to me, for example, if you're a Kings fan. Do you believe that this is going to be Anze Kopitar's last year? Are you relieved that Matthew Stafford finally has a back that kind of, sort of, maybe works? And if you enjoyed this update, don't forget to subscribe to Faithful Angelenos. We're talking LA sports every single day. Thank you for watching. I'm James, and we'll be back tomorrow. Faithful Angelenos is a Quian Corte El Queso production. Take care.